the fracture has begun as it pertains to MAGA. And on today's As the World Churns, myself and my fabulous co-hosts, Andy Levy, are going to dig in to what we think are the beginning fissures of MAGA's own creation. So what do I mean by this? For years, Donald Trump, along with his band of fools, has dug in to the conspiracy theory of a Democratic cabal of sex trafficking pedophiles, et cetera, et cetera. And when I'm in power, I'm going to release the Epstein files and show the world who the Democrats are and yada, yada, yada. Fast forward, Pam Bondi, I got the files on my desk. Fast forward, libs of TikTok and other personalities walk out of the White House with a big binder and smiles on their face. We got the information. And now they said there's nothing to see here, folks, and just keep moving along. We got nothing. We got nothing to see here. Donald Trump is melting down because his own base now has Alex Jones crying in his car, Elon Musk feeling like he was made a fool of, among others who are just like, if you're not in the files, then release the files. And we know now that Donald Trump is throwing everything that he can, bringing up outdated feuds with people, bringing Hillary Clinton and the laptop from hell and going on these long old man screeds on his broke down social media platform. And what it's showing, Andy, is that for the first time ever, the man is being ratioed on his own site with his own people saying, you're a liar. What do you make of this? Because I'm like, is this the beginning? It's going to be the Epstein files, not the deportations, not the gutting of government agencies, not like the grifting, none of that. It's going to be Epstein.
Well, this is the first time that when Trump voters say, this is not what I voted for, that I believe them. Like, this is the first thing he's done where I'm like, yeah, you know what? The guy ran on the fact that there were these Epstein files, that it was the Democrats who were suppressing them, and that he was going to release them. So yeah, when I hear people getting mad at him now, and now that he's out there, and he really is flailing, it's amazing. Like you said, the old man yelling imagery is just unbelievable. And look, you can't tell conspiracy theorists what they want to hear for years, and then suddenly say, oh, by the way, none of that's true, and expect them to stick with you. You can do that to a lot of different people, and so he can do that on a bunch of other subjects and get away with it. But conspiracy theorists aren't like that. They believe what they believe, and they believe it with every fiber of their being. And they believe that Jeffrey Epstein was murdered to be kept quiet. They probably believe that Hillary Clinton had something to do with that murder. They believe that there is absolutely a client list, that Jeffrey Epstein had a client list. They also believe that was a Mossad agent, or in some way worked for the Israeli government. And so everything that Donald Trump and his administration is doing now flies in the face of these strongly held beliefs. And yeah, it's wild that the thing that's fracturing this group, and that I mean, who knows? We've counted old Donnie out a million times before, and he somehow comes back. So I'm not ready to, I'm not ready to throw a party just yet. But I guess in a way, it's really not a surprise that it would be one of these, wild conspiracy laden issues that would lead to this fracturing. Because again, like the people who are saying, when he deports or kidnaps whatever one of their neighbors who were saying, I didn't vote for this, like, yeah, you did.
Mm-hmm.
You actually did. You might not have thought it was going to go down like this, but it's what you voted for. And the same with all the cuts. Yes, they voted for cuts. They just didn't think the cuts would affect them. And,
Mm-hmm.
they fucked around and now they're finding out. But that's different from saying, I didn't vote for this. Because the man made it clear that he was going to do all these cuts. So again, this is something as wacky as it is and as bizarre as it is that this might be the thing, like you said, with all the other things, with the shredding of the Constitution that's going on a daily basis. Ultimately, I guess, and maybe with hindsight, it's like, oh yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense.
But it's like, here's my thing. And I'm not even saying like this is the beginning of the end of Donald Trump, but I think that it's really interesting that the seeds that you planted, conspiracy seeds that he has been planting over the last 10 years, that he has poisoned his own well, right?
Yeah.
Like that he's planted these seeds in his poisonous garden that he's allowed to spread because it has always worked to his benefit. The control that he had over this base has always worked to his benefit. And it made me go back to, if we remember Cassidy Hutchinson's testimony before the January 6th committee, where Donald Trump was told that the people that were on the grounds at the ellipses had weapons, right? And Donald Trump is saying, they're not here to hurt me. Take down the magnetrons, take them down. They're not here to hurt me. I believe that Donald Trump has never imagined, couldn't even possibly
Sure.
imagine that this base that he's been feeding lies to, that he has riled up conspiracy after conspiracy, lie after lie, fed them, Nancy Pelosi, her husband gets bashed in the head, feeds them this person, they have to move, right? Like feeds them all of these people that he never thought that they would turn on him. And so now here he is, like standing before these people, sending these middle of the night paragraph long truth socials. That's like, what about the laptop? And what about Obama? What about Hillary? Like, what about this? And you can just imagine him like in his bathrobe, holding a
Mhm.
Coke and just screaming out into the void. And the people who used to stop and camp out and listen to everything that he had to say are like, you sound like a liar. Like, I can't actually trust you. And I
Yeah.
think that that fissure, in terms of him not having the control to manipulate these people, to me, that's really something. I'm not saying it's the beginning of the end,
Mhm.
but I think that it's
Right.
like, huh, look what you did.
No, I think you're absolutely right. And that look, and there was no reason for him not to believe that whatever he said, they would ultimately go along with because they have, like you said. But the problem here is that when the Trump administration comes out and the Justice Department says there's no Epstein list, there's no there. There are two possible explanations for that. One is they're telling the truth, and the
Yes.
other is that they're covering it up. And you've got people who firmly believe that this thing does exist. You've got an attorney general who said the list was on her desk. So it's a little difficult because those are the only two possibilities here, that they're covering it up or that it really doesn't exist. And you have people who, even if it doesn't exist, they are never, ever, ever going to believe that. Never. And he thought, well, if I tell them that, they'll believe it. And he was absolutely wrong. And we're seeing now, these fissures, even within the administration, with people threatening to quit at the FBI and other people calling for Pam Bondi to be fired as if this was her choice. Like that really gets me. Like, again, fire her. She sucks. But do you think she's doing this? You think that's where this stops? You don't think this goes all the way to the big guy? I mean, who are you kidding? Like you can't be that stupid. You can't think that Pam Bondi is going rogue here. This is a Donald Trump operation. And so I'm not sure what the people calling for her to be fired, what they think they're going to accomplish there, other than making me laugh. And that's something. In
It
this
is
world,
something. In
that's
this
something.
world, at this time, that's
Yeah.
something. And
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Thank you, Megan Kelly.